I'm gonna sit like you. This is how we sit. I can smash them either way. Hey everybody, welcome to episode.
Hey dude, it's Cal. I just wanted to say I sent you the Not a Podcast episode, but I think I forgot to do the intro thing where I'm like, hey, welcome to Not a Podcast, where even though you see two guys on microphones with headphones on, talking about various topics, answering questions, having a laugh, enjoying each other's company together, I can assure you it's not a podcast.
We're in La Quinta, Indian Wells, Palm Springs, watching tennis. We're here for a tennis tournament. My father is an international tennis champion of the world, Skip Scrooby. Everyone, round of applause for Skip Scrooby.
I've lost a lot of the skills.
Yeah, a couple of them. No, this is my dad. He's a champ. He's a retired engineer. He teaches himself Spanish every day for like the past 7 years.
Still not connecting.
Still not connecting? Oh, you mean the Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's working on it. He didn't. We went to a Mexican restaurant last night, and he didn't say gracias.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Cal's taught me not to do
So that was pretty good. And then he teaches himself piano, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to get him some producer credits. I'm trying to get him paid because now he's retired. You know, he's just broke.
Okay.
He just doesn't make any money.
Mad skills on the piano.
He's nice. But anyways, we got a bunch of questions here that luckily none of them are provocative. So that's good.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
And I'm not at all nervous about that.
We can just jump right into it. Lauren Townley said, I think you probably met my dad before at one of the shows. Lauren says, what did you think or feel when Cal told you that he wanted to pursue a music career?
I'm not even sure that Cal ever told us that, per se. When he was in school and stuff began to drop, and that's how I remember that he got into it. And I can almost say for certain that he never came to us and sat us down and started to talk about whether or not he should go into music. that didn't come into play.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I think you guys just wanted me to finish school.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but because you were probably like, oh yeah, all this rapping shit you're doing is cute. How are the grades going? And I'm like, oh, I failed out, but it's okay. I'm gonna get back in.
I can honestly say not that. We really just wanted you to be happy. So when it looked like you were gonna, I'll say, recognize the fact that engineering didn't give you joy.
Not much.
Yeah. Then we were really, I can honestly say, pretty nervous, but pretty glad for you because we knew that it was going to be something else.
Yeah, probably weren't sure that I'd ever make any money on it though.
I did. I gotta admit that.
Because I didn't know how I was gonna make money off it.
Yeah, and that's the first question you always got from most people my age, right? How are you gonna make a living?
Man, yeah. I was like, there's some of your friends for sure, some family friends that were like, they were like, how's the music thing going?
Yeah.
Or your little music thing, as a lot of people would refer to it. And then the follow-up question is, you making any money? Nope.
Yeah. Well, and
Nope.
honestly, a part of that was, I'm sure it felt like a challenge, but a big part of it for them is interest.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted to know how on earth does somebody make money like that?
I know that sometimes it wasn't actually condescending, but man, it felt condescending.
It felt that way.
Yeah,
I know.
Just because it wasn't like a normal type salary gig.
Yeah.
Well, a good follow-up question from Kate is, what did you think Cal would grow up and do for a career? Ninja?
Honestly, no. Honestly, it seemed like teaching and coaching seemed like the right path when you were in high school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like Janet always says, it's just seemed a little too ordinary. So I think we probably would have bet on that, but not much money.
Yeah, I feel like if I wasn't going to be a writer of some sort, it was going to be coaching basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. You did seem to enjoy it the
Yeah.
times that you did it. So
I did. Drew Myers said, "Are you proud of what I've become?" This is me, not you, or not. Also not Drew. Are you proud of what Drew Myers has become? And everything I have not. So one thing I'm not, in jail.
Yep.
So that's a W.
Yeah.
We win there.
Yeah.
Yet. And then
you could go on down the line. There's a lot of stuff like that you haven't done.
right. Well, some of them you probably don't know.
We could do the rest of the show on
You don't
that.
know. You know.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
You don't know.
You don't tell us everything.
So yeah. So I guess the question is, are you proud of me?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good
Yeah.
answer. Good
Yeah.
answer. Haley Markle said, "What was Cal like as a child?"
Not much different.
Still a child. What do you mean? What is Cal like? A child. Yes. Yeah.
No, there were so many more moments, and Cal and I've had a lot of conversations about stuff like this. But there were an awful lot of times where I'd look at him and shake my head, and I'd look at Janet and shake my head, and I just think it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that one time I bit you on the nose.
Once?
Oh, I bit you on the nose. That was my move then.
Yeah.
That was my move. Yeah, I used to do like karate and shit, and so I was always like jumping. We would have like little picnic tables, little Fisher Price picnic tables. I would like do tricks off of the picnic tables.
Absolutely.
And we were playing like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers.
Well, and that was how you introduced
Kombat.
yourself to people.
Karate moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Step
If
in there and
somebody come in and we would introduce Cal to a new friend or something, and then the first thing he'd do is his favorite move, and that was usually had something to do with Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, usually. And then also, my parents have told me before that I would apologize. My way of apologizing as a child was to compliment you on something.
Your shirt.
So if I felt bad, I'd be like, "I like your shirt."
I like your shirt.
So yeah, that's how I was as a child. Just misdirected communication.
Yeah, but there were a lot of other things, that you'd be climbing across the monkey bars, and it just you and I out in the playground.
Backyard, yeah.
And your hands would be bleeding, and you'd be crying your eyes out, but you were not going to stop until you got all the way across that thing.
Yeah, and then the child services would come out and see just blood all over the playground, and
and
yeah,
I'd shrug and say, "It's just Cal."
Yeah, it's just Cal. I swear, it's
That's
just
what
Cal.
he do. What am I going to do?
Yeah, and then I'm just telling the guy how much I like his shirt. Haley also said, "Do you have a favorite song of Cal's?"
For years it was Faster, but I've kind of moved on to. I really enjoyed Ghost, but I have to admit
Personal reasons. Yeah,
there's a reason there. Who Are You has such a really good beat to it. I love that. I'd say that's pretty much
You like
it.
the videos.
Otherwise it's pretty much tied to the videos.
Yeah. I think that's how a lot of people are, and without really knowing that. Anna Logan said, "Have you ever been surprised by any of Cal's lyrics, in a sense of learning something about him that you didn't know before hearing the song?"
That's a good question.
That's a great question. Let me
really
jump in.
is.
I like this one. I remember this one time when I was in college, I bought a pair of Beats headphones for my buddy Mark, and you were like, you said, "Oh," you're like, "How'd you get those?" And I'm like, "What do you mean how I get them? I bought them for my buddy Mark for like $110." And you were like, "Oh, well, your stash keep growing like you're never gonna shave." That's what you said to me.
I said that?
Yeah, in reference to like how were you making money? Are you selling drugs?
Well, there wasn't any doubt. I mean, not that you were selling, but there was not any doubt at that point that you were going to be struggling, and I was going to be.
Yeah.
That kind of question was on the tip of my tongue pretty much most of the time.
Yeah, I'd say that I get that from you. If I'm talking to like, maybe roommates that might owe me a little bit of money, I'm like, huh, that's interesting that you got you got a pizza today and a 12-pack of beer.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen the rent yet. How'd you get that? Nick Noah said, how old were you when I was born? 36?
37, I think.
Yeah.
When you were born, yeah.
What do you know?
Thought about that, yeah. Another good question.
What do you know? He also said, where did you two meet in reference to you and Mom? Not you and I. Not you and I. We met.
That would be an
Well, let me
easy-
tell you. It's an interesting
good
story.
question.
It's an interesting story. Yeah, where you and Mom met. Mom was playing softball. You were coaching.
Yeah. A friend of mine asked if I wanted. He said he was coaching a girls' softball team, a women's, I guess, at that stage. I was around 29, 30. And he said he didn't know anything about softball. Well, I didn't know anything about softball, but
Yeah.
I could figure it out. So, yeah, I was coaching that team, and so we got together for the first time at like a Pizza Hut or something. And I remember the first time I saw her. I looked across the room, and she was wearing like a little pink pantsuit. And she, when I brought that up to her years later, she thought, "Oh my God, I'd forgotten about that." And that, for some reason, that stood out in my mind. And then after we'd played for a while, after we played a couple of games, I get something like that, then I decided I was going to ask her out. And she was one of the best players on the team. That was fun.
Yeah, is that why you thought that was hot? You were like, dude, she can really throw the ball.
Hey.
My mom's actually, she's a hell of an athlete.
She is.
And when we were watching sports and shit, she will call out like something that happened.
Yeah.
Like she'll be like, "That's a hold," and
Shit
then
that
we'll
we
watch,
won't catch.
and then we'll watch the replay back, and we'll be like, "Jesus, that was a hold." Wasn't
Yeah.
it? How did she see that? You know?
Yeah.
So, because she used to watch football with her dad. That's how she spent time with her dad.
She'll be yelling at the TV, calling. Just why on earth is he not calling a timeout here?
Right. She's good.
Yeah.
She's good. Then maybe that's where I get my athleticism from.
She would be a great
not
coach.
you.
Yeah.
Not you. That's where I do get my bank shot from you, though. That's it. Austin said, taking what you see now from Cal, what would you say to 16-year-old Cal as advice?
I don't think. Do you remember any advice growing up?
No, I'm saying, I think he means,
I know, but I'm saying
Oh.
I don't think.
do I remember it? No, not really.
Yeah, and that's why I say same thing.
I think you guys always just kind of let me figure it out. I think that's why it took me a long time, but I eventually figured it out because you guys just let me figure it out instead of like, I mean, as much as you encouraged me to go like a traditional route, you also didn't make me go the traditional route. It was always just like, hey, if you need guidance, here's a traditional route.
Yeah.
Like if you need to, if you don't really know how the fuck this music thing is going to play out and you get tired of doing it, here is a way that you can be an adult without it.
Well, I grew up in a family of 5, and we didn't get a whole lot of input, shall we say? And I became a real believer in letting you figure things out, and Janet felt the same way. So
Yeah. Well, we kind of got to figure it out
Sort of.
to an extent. Becca said, "What's your favorite memory with Cal as a kid?" That's pretty tough.
yeah, I don't know. We've talked about some of them a little bit. You know, just I loved being out in the yard and as rough as it is, we haven't talked yet about trying to throw the baseball for you so you can catch it.
Yeah, diving catches.
Calvin loved diving catches. And
If it was within reach, like if I caught it with a perfect dive, then it wasn't thrown far enough away. And if I couldn't catch it because it was like just too far out of reach, then you threw it too fucking far, man. What is it?
and there was no in between.
And yeah, there's no in between.
And yet that was it, and it was hard. It really wasn't easy, but we really enjoyed those times, and remember how we used to do the neighborhood pickle games in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
Those are the best. That was.
We had a great neighborhood, just a bunch of kids and us just playing games, and they were all older. Most of the kids were older, which is I think why my language is so vulgar.
Yeah, they were.
And so I was just learning all the bad words from those kids, and they stuck.
It's
stuck
not your
with
fault.
me. Yeah, it really isn't.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris said, "Which one of your parents helped build your vocabulary most to contribute to your wordplay?"
Is that for you?
Oh yeah, that's a good. That is for me. You're right. I don't know. I mean, I don't think honestly. I think it was more my teachers. I think it was more like I had, Tracy Woodruff and I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, they really encouraged you.
Like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, we were doing all the SAT words and shit, and I just like using big words. I would find like a big word. I remember the one word I used basically in every essay I ever wrote in college was diligent.
No.
I would try to find a way to work diligent into whatever I was talking about, man. Anybody I was like, is he hardworking? All right, I'm using it. Like, how can is there a time in which he worked hard? I'm using it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was them. They're not very smart.
No.
They're not, like, it's, 2 wrongs made a right. That's right. It's like, just...
Well, there are certain things that you become because you see what you don't want to be.
Exactly. The best example sometimes is the non-example.
That's exactly.
Yeah. So I had 2 non-examples.
Screaming off in the other direction.
Yeah. All right, let's leave it at this last question, and then Mom can have the second half of these questions. Dalton Doherty said, how does it make you feel as parents to know your son is a hero to many of us? Well, hero, that's a nice word, Dalton. Thank you. That's a little, probably a little too, give me a little too much credit there. Hero, maybe not. But
I can tell you, maybe the best way to answer it is just how much fun it is to go to a concert. I so look forward to that time because it's just so much fun. So I love you guys yelling all the lyrics to the songs and staying with him and how much he enjoys it, and we just get so much joy watching Cal do his craft. So I guess that's how I'd answer that.
That's a great answer. That's the best way so you can answer that. Because that's like I think that was a pretty rewarding part of this whole experience for me is when I could start doing Cincinnati shows and like they started to really fill up. We started doing sellouts and then people know all the words and shit. And so it's cool. Like my mom, because we were talking earlier about how people will, like our family friends will kind of downplay it, or at least for a while they did. They would kind of downplay it for a while, but Mom like brought her whole tennis team, to the Cincinnati shows, and there's like 8 tennis moms there who kind of thought that like this wasn't really shit, but then it's like, oh shit, there's like 600 people here that are like ready to rock.
And like I say, it's just so much fun. The atmosphere is just the best.
Yeah, it really is. You guys are fucking great. You guys are special. So appreciate you. I hope you guys got some kind of insight on this. Maybe some explanation of why I'm not that cool. It's his fault. That's him and her. Yeah, that's why.
That's part of our balancing.
And that's part of the brand.
You're about to hear the cool one. And she's coming on.
But that's part of the brand, though. I think the brand is that like, I'm not that fucking cool. So honestly,
when he talks about being goofy, that's me.
Yeah. Or the gas station dad stuff. Yeah. That's a genetic thing. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the next one. But yeah, thanks for being a part of this group. Appreciate everybody, all the tears. You guys are the best. We'll see you soon.